morning. I'm John Thompson. I grew up here in Greensboro, and I'm not making a dime to be here this morning. I'll turn 60 this summer. I've been married for 37 years. I have 3 grown sons. I'm pro-life. I'm an evangelical Christian, and for 28 years, I voted Republican. Now, here in North Carolina, especially when you get a little older, the boss does not have to have a reason to fire you. And in 2013, that's exactly what they did. And when I lost my job, I also lost my health insurance. Now, when my wife and I got the $2,200 a month COBRA bill in the mail, that's what it would have cost us out of pocket to keep our employer insurance. We just looked at each other and laughed. Now, in the past, we just suck it up and do without and pray to God that no one would get sick or be rushed to the emergency room or have to go under the surgeon's knife. Because if we did, we knew our goose would be cooked. We'd be forever branded with a pre-existing condition. We'd never get insurance coverage again. Well, it took me a year to find another job with insurance, and during the course of that year, the Tea Party nuts over there in Raleigh slashed my unemployment benefits by 50%. Also, during that very same year, I got cancer. But thank God for Obamacare. The marketplace had just launched. I signed this up immediately. The subsidy helped us to afford the premium. It was our lifeline during my year out of work. In fact, Obamacare saved my life. Without it, I would have been uninsurable for the rest of my days. No diagnostic test, no surgery, no rehab, no hope. Have you ever sat by the bedside of a loved one and watched them slowly die and needlessly die of prostate cancer? Well, I have, and it's not a pretty sight. Now, I'm not a deadbeat or a freeloader. For 40 years, I paid my taxes, I worked to support my family, I gave to my church, and I contributed to my community. But in my hour of need, when my back was against the wall, in the richest country in the history of the universe, where was the GOP for me? In fact, if it was up to those guys and they could have done to Obamacare then what they're getting ready to do to it now, shit, I'd probably be lying dead in a ditch somewhere today. So in closing, I'd like to say a couple of words specifically to our GOP representatives. Senators Burr and Tillis and Representatives Walker and Budd. Now, my question to you guys is this. There's no evidence over the last 40 years that tax cuts on the wealthy or big business either goose the economy, pay for themselves, or trickle down to the rest of us. When you get rid of Obamacare and you eliminate the wealth tax that goes to fund it, you're giving the top 1%, those elite million or so families way up at the very top, making $400,000 or more a year, you're giving them an immediate $346 billion tax cut. On top of that, when you pass your 2018 budget and tax reform bills, you're giving those very same folks another $310 billion per year in cuts. And on top of that, when you add in the $350 billion a year in tax handouts that go to the 1%, which are already baked into the tax code through stuff called tax expenditures, in one fell swoop, you're giving more in tax cuts to the rich than the entire annual budget deficit of the United States times 2. Now, over the last generation, as a result of your GOP policies, here in America, we really have become a nation of moochers, and the moochers are all at the top. So on the one hand, we're giving away $1 trillion in tax cuts to a small group of fat cats at the top who don't deserve it and certainly don't need it, while on the other hand, you're gutting Obamacare and ripping away affordable health insurance from up to 30 million working and middle-class Americans. Now, that's to say nothing of the 50 million more of us with pre-existing conditions whose very lives you are putting at great risk. So Burr, Tillis, Walker, and Budd, we are your constituents speaking. Now, back in 2009, when your Tea Party buddies were raising hell about death panels and government takeovers, you guys were all about town hall meetings. But now in 2017, when your constituents are demanding to know why you're stuffing the pockets of the rich with tax handouts, at the same time you're taking away our health insurance, you guys are nowhere to Ellis Walker and Bud, you guys get out from under your desk. Quit hiding up there in Washington. Get on a plane, fly back home, face your constituents, and explain to us how this is going to make America great again.